Construction has been popping up all over Crossman, Missouri, and it's not quite over yet. Good evening, I'm Shale Remien.
And I'm Jim Reed. Thanks for joining us. Several construction projects are starting tomorrow. East Ash Street between St. James and College Avenue will shut down. This comes before workers start to install a 54-inch drain system.
And more road construction starts tomorrow that could affect your commute to work this week. Weather permitting, MoDOT is closing the southbound on-ramp from Broadway Bridge over Hominy Creek. MoDOT says the work will close the ramp starting at 7 p.m. Monday until Thursday morning. Well, today was the last day to fish for free in Missouri until next year. The Conservation Department allowed anyone to fish without a permit, trout stamp of Park Daily tag all yesterday and today. The goal of Free Fishing Day is to get people interested in fishing without having to purchase a permit. Children under age 16 are already allowed to fish without a permit, but the day allows parents without a permit a chance to go out and fish with their kids. And sometimes a child gets that great feeling of catching their first fish. Normal regulations like limits on size and number of fish someone can catch still applied. You can call your local Missouri Department of Conservation to get information on free fishing days near you. People in St. Peters, Missouri are cleaning up today after severe weather Saturday damaged homes and businesses. You can see the aftermath of the storm here. Wind blew off most of the roof at this local Club Fitness. County officials say there were reports of trees on houses, downed power lines, and roof damage. County authorities say there were no injuries from the storm and most of the damage is superficial. Marking the 70th anniversary of D-Day this weekend, President Barack Obama is back at the White House this morning.
That means he's back defending his decision to swap Sergeant Bo Bergdahl for the Taliban detainees. Reporter Ty Welker has the latest on the controversy.
Students at South Pacific University are still in mourning today after a gunman shot and killed one person on campus Thursday. Students held a prayer service Saturday at a memorial set up for victims of the shooting. The shooting injured 2 other students before senior John Meese tackled the shooter. Buses full of undocumented children are flowing into Arizona this weekend after U.S. officials say they were illegally caught crossing the border in Texas from Mexico. Officials say they had to begin moving the children from Texas to a Border Patrol facility in Nogales Friday. The officials say Texas did not have the facilities to process such a large group. 400 children came to the facility on Friday, and officials expect about 700 more to arrive over the weekend. Some of the money from the sale of the LA Clippers might be going to charity. Up to 10% of the sale could go into a charitable foundation that co-owner of the team, Shelley Sterling, will run. That number would amount to about $200 million. Donald and Shelley Sterling agreed to sell the team to Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer last week. Donald Sterling was forced to sell after recorded racist remarks were released and the NBA banned him for life.
And you are looking live over the Missouri River at Roachport. This is KOMU 8 News, first at 5 on this Sunday afternoon. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. A massive hunt broke out in Quebec today after 3 inmates escaped from a detention center yesterday. Police say the men got away with the help of a helicopter. Police throughout Canada are assisting in the hunt, and the U.S. is also helping out. This is the second time in 2 years that inmates from a Quebec prison escaped with the assistance of a helicopter. Police say the inmate was awaiting trial at the detention center. 5 families of passengers from the missing Malaysia plane launched a campaign to raise money as a reward for anyone with information on the missing flight. The families are hoping to raise $3 million through a crowdfunding website. The family members also say they're hoping to raise an additional $2 million to pay for a private investigator to look for the flight. Flight MH370 disappeared 3 months ago with 239 people on board. Well, Egypt's former Army chief was sworn in as president today. Supporters filled the streets outside the presidential palace in the capital, waving national flags and photos of the new president after the inauguration ceremony. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi inauguration comes less than a year after he ousted the country's first freely elected president, Mohamed Morsi. Al-Sisi took the control mass protests, calling for Morsi to step down. And protests have been frequent in Thailand after the country fell under military rule. But a group of students today staged one of the most unique protests by handing out sandwiches. A group planned a picnic in the park as a way of gathering protesters, but found soldiers and police sealed it off. So instead, they marched down the streets of Bangkok and handed out sandwiches while shouting, "Sandwiches for democracy." Public anti-coup protests are illegal in Thailand, but police officers did not intervene.
Aren't acting in a lewd manner.
Quite the story. Now here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 9 on the CW. More than 100 Special Olympic athletes and their coaches from Missouri are headed to New Jersey for the Special Olympics USA Games.
And as the summer heat sets in, the Columbia and Boone County Health Departments are opening cooling centers.